Well, I said I'd show how I cut the legs, and I guess on my own I wasn't smart enough to figure it out. I don't know if I ever would have, but there was a fine article in Fine Woodworking magazine, September of 2008, where they were making a slightly different table, but still the same legs. And I don't know if you can see it here in the video, but I'm going to demonstrate it. You make a cut on one side of the fence, and then you make a second cut down here. This middle one was for if you wanted to make like 3 legs or 4 legs, you could make it all out of the same stock at the same time. But the two important cuts are the first and second, and I'm going to demonstrate how I did it. So I've got the blade set up here at 30 degrees, and this is some 1 3/4 stock, which is what we need. And so the first cut has an 1 3/4 from here to here. So you're going to get essentially get this ripped on that side. So we'll go ahead and make that cut, and then I'll show you the second cut. Now that I've completed the first cut, you can see here that we've got an 1 3/4 here, and this slope here is longer than 1 3/4. So, but you've got 60 degrees between these two here. So the second cut is made across this face here at a 30-degree angle. And but we have to move the fence on the other side, so that's what we're going to do next. So you can see I moved the fence to the other side of the blade. Now still the same 30-degree cut angle that we had before, but you can see I marked on here from here to here it's an 1 3/4 to that line, and then I made a line down across here, which is 90 degrees to this line, to this face here. That's a 90 right there. So what that does is help me guide the saw setup. So you want the blade to just hit that line to help you guide through there. So we're going to go ahead and make that cut, and then we'll have what we need. So there you have it with the two cuts. So we have two 1 3/4 faces here, you know, out of the stock that we had, and then this is the remaining, which is about 1 inch back there, and that's of course where the mortises and the stretchers will go, and this is the outside edge. So then it was a matter of if I was going to turn that. When I tried to turn it as a whole one piece, it didn't work out too well, so I chopped it into the lengths and then turned the pommels onto the ends and reassembled it. So that's the way it's done. Well, I'm ready to turn my first piece after cutting the shape, as you can see here. And what I did is I made a little template from the practice piece so that I can place it on here and get the center all the time, since I got to find the center of these every time. And this is the longer part here that I'm going to turn first. And I've got a little extra there and a little extra here, and I want to make a half inch hole there on the end, and this is the area that has been giving me trouble right here, tearing out. So I'm going to make a saw cut at an angle right about here to relieve this, so that hopefully it won't chip off when I turn it. Well, one done. It's not too bad. No tear out on this side of the pommel, so it's a little hair longer than what I would want, but it'll hardly be noticeable. So there's one. Got two more to do. Well, I'm just finishing up with the turning of the third leg here. So this is the largest center segment, and it just needs a little touching up here in the middle and there, and I'll sand it. These are 7/8 of an inch over here, and it'll fit into the holes that we have as such, and then there's of course a lower section, so we'll look at that in more detail in a minute. So drilling the 7/8 inch holes here in the triangular pieces. Three more to go. So here's the 3 assembled legs, and I'm going to have to prop something underneath here, because these are 1/8 of an inch smaller than the 1 3/8 that are here. So to get the legs straight, I'm going to have to support them when I glue them up. But for now, I'm going to mark out where the stretchers go, and the apron goes up here, and then chop out the mortises that there are on the back here while it's apart, and then glue it up, so that'll make it easier. Well, I made this jig to hold the pieces at a proper angle, so by cutting a 30-degree angle there, and so I can hold these at a 90-degree angle to the chisel. So I've done chopped out one here, and then I've got to rotate it to chop out the other one. The only problem that I've run into is the clamping. The handles bump into the top of the hollow chisel mortiser here, so I got the doors off, and but I do have to move the device back and or the wood back and forth a little bit for clamping, so that's a bit inconvenient, but otherwise it works pretty good. Well, there's all the mortises completed, and the 3 legs are ready for glue up. I still have to trim a little bit off the top, but I'm going to do that after they're glued so that I'm assured that all 3 of them are the same length.